Hello, welcome to VMC. I'm Dr. M. Today we are going to be covering how to find and assess what an excellent and ethical breeder looks like. So join me, you'll learn something today. Okay, so now that you have an overview of what a responsible breeder looks like, how do you go about finding one and assessing if the people that you find are excellent and ethical breeders? Well, you can start searching a number of different ways. You can look through Facebook, you can Google, you can look through the AKC marketplace, you can check for national clubs, you can check for more local clubs. Those are all good places to start. And if you do find a website or a Facebook page of someone that you are interested in, there are a number of things that you need to look for when you're scanning through that page. And you should do more than scan. You should read it for comprehension. You should see pictures of the dogs or cats that are actually doing something, whether they're in a conformation ring, if they're dock diving, if they are in a field doing some sort of hunt test, if they're in an obedience ring, if they are fly ball, whatever it is that breed is being bred for and used for, there should be pictures of those dogs doing that. If all you see are pictures of dogs standing in a backyard or in a house, you need to move on. So say that you do see these pictures, you should also see registered names proudly displayed of these dogs. I would also expect to see links to finding out that dog's lineage and heritage, as the breeders will be proud of the genetics of their dog. I would also expect to have health clearances listed. They might link you to the OFA website, and you can confirm that the health clearances that you are being shown are true. So check the OFA website or PennHIP, and you should be comparing with the AKC list of tests and what the breeder has done. You do not want to support a breeder that's only partially health testing their dogs. They should be doing at least the minimum, and most ethical breeders will be doing more than the bare minimum that the AKC lists. And so you do want to check and verify that all of the health clearances that are listed have actually been done and are being represented truthfully. If you find any issues in this area, you need to keep scrolling, find another breeder. You should also be noticing after the dog's registered names that there are a bunch of letters that are after that name. This is very important to see because good breeders are competing and winning with their dogs. If the breeder is not competing with their dog in a breed appropriate sport or conformation, or they aren't winning with their dog, then those genetics are not some that should be passed on, and you should not be supporting that breeder. So you should be seeing the more letters the better, essentially, and more than just like a canine good citizen. That can be given to essentially every animal that is friendly around other dogs and people. It's a very low bar, but you're looking for championships in an appropriate area for that breed of dog. It should be noted that saying championship bloodlines means absolutely nothing. We do not want the grandparents or the parents to be grand champions. We want the actual dogs themselves that are being bred to be champions. If you think about this, it makes sense. How alike are you to your grandparents? There's a lot of changes that happen in there, and each individual is going to be similar but also very different from the lineage that they come from. If you have found a website or a Facebook page that has passed all of these tests, excellent. The next step is to reach out to that breeder, because good breeders are not going to allow you to put a deposit down on a puppy without screening who you are as a person first, because they care about where their animals are going. So it might be an email or a form that you fill out, and make sure that you don't ask any questions that are answered in the website or Facebook page already. You should have read through that carefully and familiarize yourself with the animals that this person is breeding. So things that you can ask are any clarification questions that you might have. If you didn't see something on the website that you're curious about, you can also ask when the next breeding is anticipated to be and how long kind of the wait list is. This can be a little bit tricky because, you know, you need to be yourself when being screened by the breeder, and you also will be tailoring what you're discussing based on that individual breeder. If you get a reply back that they don't have any litters coming up in the near future, which can happen, or if you find out that maybe this dog or planned litter might not be a very good fit for you personally, like, don't take offense to that at all. It's better to be upfront and honest before the animal has joined your household and you get attached to it and it becomes a bad fit. Far better to be told and find out in advance that this is not the best fit for you. And in that situation, you can ask the breeder, do they have a suggestion for someone that they know that might be a better fit for what you're looking for? It is, you know, the excellent breeders, it is a fairly small community, and often they will know a bit about each other and have recommendations for who's worth checking into and who maybe you shouldn't. And so you can always ask that and take that recommendation with a grain of salt, and then maybe they might have a litter upcoming that's more suitable to your family. Once you find a breeder that you're thinking, hey, this might be a decent fit, you should ask about what the litter goes through health-wise before they leave the breeder's home. So it's very important that puppy series vaccines are given. Those should be boosted every 3 to 4 weeks until the puppy or kitten is over 16 weeks of age. I would also expect a microchip to be placed. I would also expect a veterinarian to be doing all of these things. The breeder should not be doing them because we also want the puppies to have a physical exam and multiple physical exams as they're growing to listen for issues like heart murmurs, to make sure that their body condition score is appropriate. Some breeds should have bile acids checked before they leave. Some breeds should have heart scans done. Some breeds need eye tests done as puppies before they go to join their new household. So checking out all of those things is very important, and it's also very important that the breeder has a good working relationship with their veterinarian. They need to be a team in order to make sure that the young animals are healthy. So make sure that you are respectful when you discuss these things, and if you find that a breeder is not working with a veterinarian, then you need to move on and find another breeder. Now, I know this is all sounding like a lot of work, and boy is it. When I decided to support an excellent breeder, the dog that I currently have is the first dog that I have had in my life that has been purpose bred. It took me about 2.5 years to not only find a breeder that met the standards that we should have for breeders, but then to find one that was having a litter that would suit my lifestyle, and then also to find one and go through their wait list, because most excellent breeders are going to have a wait list for their litters, and then for the litter to be born, and then for the litter to grow up enough to leave and join my household. So this is not something that I would expect to happen within a month or two. I would expect to be waiting a year longer. And so if that isn't right for you, then you could consider adoption from an SPCA or finding a breed-specific rescue. Or another thing that you could ask breeders about as you're interviewing them, sometimes they will have dogs that have been working and they're now retiring. And some of those dogs are excellent pets to join households because you already know the behavior you're going to get. They're already house trained. They already have a lot of, behavior cues that they've learned that make it easy for them to join a household. And if you don't have as much time to be getting up in the middle of the night while house training and going through puppy classes and doing all of those things, sometimes considering a retiring adult dog might be a great option for you. And a lot of these dogs are like middle-aged. An excellent breeder isn't going to be breeding an old female dog. The males can, breed later, but with the females, the current recommendation is to get them through all their health testing, have them be adults, about 3 years of age or so, and then to have a few litters and then to retire them. And so these dogs are not that old, and sometimes they will need homes, pet homes, once they're done their working career. Until we see you on the next one, have a great day.